Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a short video. I have a reading video uploading on my other channel, so I don't have a lot of space to make this one, but I like to have the YouTube running or doing this or other things on my laptop while the video is uploading so the screen doesn't um, go black. I could change that in the settings, but I noticed that when I'm uploading and the screen does that, then it affects how it uploads because I've said it in multiple videos that my videos have been uploading slowly for the past couple of times. So I'm trying to make them shorter at least. But I did do my bandana over again. So this is like my other bandana. I really wanted to um I ripped the seams and adjusted it and um, made it like the other one because these are the main ones that I use. Even when this one was the way that it was, I still used it. I added the tassels to or to tie it because it makes it a lot more convenient to do that, and it stays and I love it. um, I do have like 5 bandanas, but I noticed that I tend to go for the paler, like the pastel. They're the lighter ones. I feel like I go for that. I do the same thing with hats too. Like I like cream colored ones at least for the ribbing area of it or the brim. And the other ones, I feel like if I really needed or wanted to, I could use it for other things, like for the material. So at least it'll be used for something. I'm still thinking of whether I will use it. I would like a blue one, so I might have like a light blue one in the future, but I'll have to see. Um, So this is the only project that I've finished. I've been mainly sewing lately because I have been able to work on things that I don't normally work on when I'm knitting. When I'm knitting, I tend to do like clothing, and I do still enjoy knitting. I love knitting. It's just doing it when the AC is on specifically. So it is technically on, but when you really notice when it comes on. So I'll show what I would like to cast on. This is based off of like when I'm watching lecture videos, and um, lectures, and well, not like in class, but when I have to do it online. Um, I love color work, and if it's a specific pattern that I don't need to reference a chart for every round, I will do that while I might be doing other things, but sometimes, a lot of the times, I tend to just do my coursework. So when I do pick up the project and I'm multitasking, I like to um, lately I've been just doing the stockinette stitch, but I have multitasked while doing color work too. It depends on what the color work is, but since the course is like the main thing right now, that's kind of what I make it the focus on. So that's going to be like kind of what I'm doing for the next project at least. I have this book and it was inexpensive. I like that it has a grid on it. Some people don't like grid paper. I don't really go for lined paper. I'll take it if that's what they have, but I like grid paper or I don't like any lines at all. Like I like them blank because I write small. So in this booklet, I've been working what have I been doing during my break? Um, well, I've been doing some knitting. Well, I have, but mainly sewing projects, and I have made uh, food for the next couple days. It was kind of it was technically intentional, at least for the salmon part of it, because I bake salmon with, and then I was making mashed potatoes too. But I was thinking I would make less mashed potatoes, but it ended up being like the same amount when I do my batch of at least 100 Veroniki because the potatoes were on the larger side. So I have more of it. I used my potato and jam ricer and I enjoyed it because it's such a um, smooth consistency, and I feel like it would do well when making the Veroniki because I tend to like the dough on the thinner side, and I love it in different forms anyway. But when I make it, I tend to like it on the thinner side, and having a smooth filling is definitely great. So it's not lumpy or anything, and um, the dough could stay the way that it is. So I made video videos about my baking and my other kitchen preparations. I pickled onions and they taste great. I am thinking about what I'm going to put with them. Since I have bread, I could do something with that. So I'm going to see. I One of the main things was like they don't have kava here, but it's they have these bowls, and I like the chicken right rice bowl. I do make some substitutions in there, but overall I would get that sometimes. Um, I felt like I was pretty okay in terms of like any allergies. I did take supplements just in case, but some of the ingredients I believe there was feta if I'm not mistaken. It's easier and helps metabolize the lactose. So with the enzymes. So it isn't as bad. Um, and with tzatziki sauce, in general, it is a vegan product. Let me make sure. Me veering off topic when I was talking about the book. The book has pharmacy formulas. I'll just talk about that briefly because I know it's not everyone's favorite topic. I could talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, but it's I'm okay not talking about it too. Um, there are vegan versions, but it's not vegan. So it's made with Greek yogurt. Which one was I saying? Well, I just said it was vegan. There was something else vegan. Good thing I checked. Um, Something else. Unless I was looking at for vegan recipes and that's why it was coming at vegan for me. But that's what I was trying to make. Or not trying to make. I didn't make any efforts to make it, but there was plans to make it. But I take the supplements regardless, but it's mainly I've said it in a lot of videos, like heavy cream that offsets the hives. But for precaution and even getting into it, like when you're the first onsets of the reaction, I it's like what an allergy is. Like I have the runny nose, runny eyes, like I have a scratchy throat, and that would be the beginning of it. And I don't like pushing it further than that. So it I don't mind making the food at home. I was thinking about going to um, the place to get borscht today. I'm not sure if they're open the 4th of July, so I was thinking maybe today. And then another part of me is like, well, I just made a lot of food, so why should I? But I'm also like, but you don't usually get food out, so maybe that could be part of the thing to celebrate because a lot of my break I've been wanting to see if I could um, really just get ahead of the coursework that I could get ahead of because um, you can't see the next section yet of the pharmacy course. So um, what I can see, because I did the printouts, I made the index cards for the next section, and we're technically going to get quizzed on this anyway. I don't know if you can even see it, but I don't know, at some point I was just running out of space. Again, hopefully the Ukrainian is correct, but I try and I cross-reference stuff. As I was saying, like some of the words are long, and I don't know why I figured that, oh, I could fit it. Like, you can't fit that word. So, I'm gonna add like some yarn here to hold it together. And I wanted to get into the next section, so I want it to be at least a section or two ahead. for the words. So um, it's nice to do that. And with the formulas, it's mainly the ones that well, all the ones that we've covered. I am still missing one of the ones that we've covered. So I did do a couple of examples, even though they're technically the same formula. And a lot of times, like, I don't know if you should listen to me, but there's a lot of problems that you could do proportions with. But if you're a formula based person or you're compatible with doing that type of stuff, then that could be what you do. Because with dose and frequency, there's different examples of liquid, insulin, and eye drops. Even though I'm essentially doing the general steps in each example, but I left it blank. So there's one on this side. Because sometimes I can usually fit the problem here on the same page, but I was thinking maybe I could do like another problem that I was thinking that, man, that stood out to me, and I want to remember this type of thing in case this thing comes up in another way. Because you never know. And this one I kind of squished at the bottom, but it's okay. Some of them, like percent concentrations, not like I'm explaining anything. I do have the example on the back because sometimes you're looking for the active ingredient or the concentration, percent concentration. So then the example is on the back. I mean, it is next to the next formula, but I feel like that's okay. So I am gonna. I was thinking about doing the conversions in the back or like helpful things that I thought that was helpful. That was helpful. So it's nice to have it in this, even though I still go back in my notes. So those are like the things that I've been doing. As I said, I want to start a knitted project. I'm still working on the other projects, but on the holidays I like to cast on. That's my celebration. That has been. Even though like maybe I wouldn't celebrate the holiday necessarily for what the holiday is for. So the project that I want to do, I have technically done this project before, but I used the yarn for something else. So this one is a specific, well, it is color work in the yoke, but I was thinking I would make it a size bigger because it's like a long yoke. So the pattern is the Anna. I'm so sorry for my Pronunciation. Um, Huloy. Um, Huloya Havosen. Let the horse carry the heavy burden. I don't know. What I said definitely was it was definitely wrong. But hopefully I'm covering the chart. I've been wanting to do this one. This is using a different yarn for sure. What needle size? So I'm gonna use like thicker yarn. It's like an Aran weight. It says medium. It's using a US 9 or recommended needle size. So it's gonna have a different gauge regardless. But I feel like that would be what would be good for this for me because I just want the yoke to be as mobile. Oh, I want to be mobile in my sweater, and I'm actually not going to cut it. I will make a sweater. This was the first book. Did I even say this is the volume one? Knitted Kalvala? I did a couple of test knits in this. This wasn't a test knit, but I did these mittens. Sorry. And I I wanted to do the green cardigan. Is it in this one or is it in the other one? This is the origin of the world, and I have made this into a cardigan. I would like it to be, well, honestly, I kind of want it as a cardigan again because that was one of my earliest garments and one that I steeked, that I cut. So I would like to do it again because I actually really love the fit of that one. Oh, really, I should. What's the needle size for this one? Same for the last one, but I don't think I would do it with this yarn. I think I would do it with something else. I love stuff with birds on them. Oh, I have other sewing plans, which I was going to start soon. I put the fabric that I'm going to use for my shorts out there because that's where I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to do it because I have more clothing fabric that I have larger quantities of, and um, I want to get to them and not have them just be piled in there. But I have been going through a lot of my smaller amounts of fabric, or for each one, there's like the back corners, and 1 yard ones. Um, I feel like that would be nice. I would like to make a skirt at some point. So well, I'm gonna do the shorts. I want to do that before I have to go back to class. Um, I did make a little bit of an adjustment, not much at all, because the bag is the same. I just added this. I made a ribbon or what, I don't know what it is, but I just added it so I could tie these on, and I did put a pin here to make sure it doesn't undo itself. But I didn't want all of um my keys to just be on the strap. So I'm happy that I did that. They're straight. And I love this bag. I want to make another one. I have found the pattern that I was looking for was actually in Pinkett, so not surprising because I'm constantly watching the videos. Um, so it's this one over here, and I feel like I have enough to do that with the blue and yellow. On the back, I'm not sure what I'm going to put because I don't think I'll have enough to do the back as like a solid color or even um, but both the colors on the back. So I think I'm gonna either make a wonky house or I might make wonky houses for other things because I wanted to do wonky houses for um like a blanket or something or a belt, or do like pisonki eggs. And I thought that was really cool because um it came to mind, and then I saw someone was selling like uh, a product that had pisonki eggs, and it was different types of fabrics and cut up into an egg. And I'm thinking about what type of background I would use. I was thinking maybe one background or um but I'll think about it because I was watching a tutorial about like curved sewing curves. So that would have been nice to watch, but I've been enjoying the process and figuring out stuff because um like with the mushroom wonky house, that's what I was trying to figure out, and I ended up doing something completely like not what was recommended, but it got completed in a way in my eyes. For this, I redid it because this was my, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, like when I first got my um the Singer sewing machine, the one that is not the featherweight one. It was, this was like the project that I just used it because I knew that I wanted to make bandanas, and I was just trying to get the sewing machine to work, and took it for the deep clean and oil because the thread kept breaking. So now it sews, and I like it was making, like it was sewing, but it was kind of like not even, like you could kind of see what I was trying to do, but it wasn't straight or anything. So I'm really happy with this, and I I feel like they're so fun to wear. So um, I don't know what other fabric I would use because I feel like I'm pretty picky about the fabrics, but I think maybe a pale blue floral one because I like the floral ones. Could be a lot of floral fabric for the Basalki too because I don't have too many. Well, I don't know. I do have some of the patterned fabric, but a lot of the larger quantities I have either the plaid, which I'm keeping for my corsets, and then the solid colors, which I could embroider too. And then the other projects I want to do, I think I'm going to start maybe at least sewing it together is, or like cutting it and then sewing it together, making um, covers, kitchen covers, for mainly the larger containers in the kitchen. So I have the kitchen aid, is it the kitchen aid? This container and this one I could put like plastic wrap on it, but I mean, ideally I would want to just make a reusable, washable cover. And then, like, if I'm proofing something or like doing other things for the recipe, I could cover it too. And then the main one, which I think I might do the KitchenAid one. I hope it's KitchenAid and not like kitchenware. Me not paying attention, and I use it almost every week. But there's these bowls. My mom has a lot of these, and well, I'll just keep the kitchen covers here or the bowl covers here because they'll go with these. Um, but I mainly like put a rag over it or like a tea towel, which I want to sew some tea towels too. But this one you like the plastic won't stick on it. So a lot of air gets in, and sometimes a lot of times when I'm making the stuff with flour, I forget that it doesn't get covered by plastic. So sometimes stuff like can dry out, and then there's like the glass ones too that I could cover, but you could also use plastic wrap. And I forget that I have those. Those are actually ideal for um at least for what's there to make the bread. So those are ideas and projects. I don't know when this one will upload because the reading is uploading, but I'm going to end the video because I don't want it to cut off because it runs out of space. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.